At 79, Tom Selleck is ready to spill the secrets everyone's been dying to know. The man with the legendary mustache and piercing eyes that can either melt you or make you laugh. But who is Tom Selleck really? Today, we take a peek behind the curtain and uncover the truth behind the Hollywood icon. Tom Selleck's journey began far from the bright lights of Hollywood. Born on January 29, 1945 in Detroit, Michigan, his early life was far from glamorous. His mother, Martha, was a housewife, while his father, Robert, worked as an executive and real estate investor. Tom wasn't alone growing up. He had an older brother, Robert, a younger sister, Martha, and another younger brother, Daniel. Tom's roots go deep into history. On his father's side, he descends from early English settlers, making him an 11th-generation North American. His ancestor, David Selleck, arrived in Massachusetts from England in 1633, marking the beginning of the family's American story. In 1948, when Tom was just 3 years old, the Selleck family made the long trek across the country, settling in Sherman Oaks, California, opening a new chapter in their lives. While Tom wasn't born into Hollywood royalty, it was clear that destiny was starting to nudge him in that direction. Tom attended Grant High School and graduated in 1962. Afterward, he stayed close to home, enrolling at Los Angeles Valley College, where he focused on figuring out his path. At 6 feet 4 inches, Tom stood out in more ways than one. His height and athletic abilities opened doors for him, and by his third year, he transferred to the University of Southern California, USC. It was at USC where things began to click. He joined the USC Trojans men's basketball team, quickly becoming a standout player, using his size and skill to dominate the court. Basketball wasn't the only sport that captured Tom's attention. He was also a pitcher and designated hitter for the USC baseball team. Alongside his athletic pursuits, Tom got involved in campus life. He joined the Sigma Chi fraternity and became a member of the Trojan Knights, a prestigious student organization. At the time, Tom envisioned a future in business administration, so that's the field he was pursuing. But fate had other plans in store for him. One day, a drama coach at USC noticed something in Tom, something he hadn't recognized in himself. The coach suggested that Tom try his hand at acting. Whether it was his striking looks or that magnetic charm, something about Tom seemed to draw people in. Taking the coach's advice to heart, Tom made a bold decision. In his senior year, he dropped out of USC and set his sights on a career in acting. Hollywood wasn't exactly waiting with open arms. Tom didn't land a starring role overnight. Instead, he put in the work, honing his craft at the Beverly Hills Playhouse under the guidance of legendary acting coach Milton Katselas. Slowly but surely, Tom's talent began to catch the attention of the industry. His first taste of fame came with appearances on The Dating Game, first in 1965 and again in 1967. While these spots didn't exactly scream A-list, they were a start. From there, Tom's face started to appear everywhere, from Pepsi-Cola ads to Right Guard commercials. He wasn't yet a household name, but his presence was growing. He even became the face of Salem cigarettes and Revlon's Chaz cologne. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a stepping stone toward bigger things. Tom Selleck had the looks, no doubt about it, but good looks alone don't make a star. His journey started with small roles that didn't exactly put him on the map. He appeared in movies like Myra Breckinridge and Coma, but those bit parts didn't exactly light up Hollywood. However, every small role was a step closer to something bigger. During this period, he also landed a recurring role on the Rockford Files as Lance White, a private investigator with charm to spare. The role was a hit, and audiences began to take notice. But it wasn't until 1979 that everything really started to click for Tom. That year, he took on a role in The Sackets, a Western film where he starred alongside Sam Elliott and screen legends like Glenn Ford and Ben Johnson. Tom's portrayal of a rugged, tough cowboy proved he had the chops to lead a film. Hollywood was now paying attention. Later that same year, he starred in Concrete Cowboys with Jerry Reed, further solidifying his place in the Western genre. Yet Tom wasn't about to be typecast as just a cowboy. In 1984, Tom switched gears and traded in his cowboy boots for a tuxedo to play a suave cat burglar in Lasser, a film set in 1930s London. This move into different genres opened new doors for him. And let's not forget Quigley Down Under, another defining Western role for Tom. With each film, he was building a legacy, one role at a time. It wasn't just about acting. It was about shaping a career that would stand the test of time. His work in Last Stand at Sabre River earned him a Western Heritage Award, cementing his status as one of the genre's greatest. In 1980, Tom Selleck's career took a dramatic turn when he was cast as Thomas Magnum in Magnum PI. Before that, he had faced disappointment after disappointment, with 6 failed TV pilots under his belt. But this role was different. Magnum was a private investigator who wore Hawaiian shirts, drove a Ferrari, and rocked a signature mustache. Tom brought the character to life, and the world took notice. At the same time, something else huge came his way. He was offered the role of Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Imagine that, Tom Selleck, cracking the whip and dodging boulders. However, fate intervened. The producers of Magnum PI wouldn't release him from his contract, so Tom had to turn down the iconic role. It went to Harrison Ford, and the rest is history. Ironically, a writer's strike delayed filming on Magnum, meaning Tom could have taken the Indiana Jones part after all. But Tom never dwelled on what might have been. In interviews, he shared that his loyalty to Magnum PI was more important than any opportunity, no matter how big. "I made a deal with Magnum," Tom said, "and it was the best thing that ever happened to me." Even when friends suggested he fake an injury to get out of his Magnum contract and take the Indiana Jones role, Tom stayed true to his word. "I've got to look my mom and dad in the eye," he explained, "and we don't do that." In the end, sticking with Magnum defined Tom's career and turned him into a household name. Magnum PI ran for 8 successful years, from 1980 to 1988, spanning 163 episodes. Tom Selleck's portrayal of Thomas Magnum, a former Navy SEAL turned private investigator living on a lavish Hawaiian estate, earned him widespread acclaim. In 1984, he won an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series, cementing his place as a TV legend.
All right. Mr. Tom Selleck.
His easygoing charm, that iconic mustache, and his sleek Ferrari 308 GTS became symbols of the show, and his portrayal struck a perfect balance between action, humor, and emotional depth. By the time Magnum wrapped up in 1988, it was not only one of the most watched TV shows of the era, but also dominated reruns well into the late 90s. By then, Selleck had become one of television's most recognizable stars, but his ambitions went beyond the small screen. During his time on Magnum, he ventured into movies, showing off his versatility. In 1987, he starred in 3 Men and a Baby, a comedy that broke box office records and became the highest-grossing film in America that year. His role as a man unexpectedly thrown into fatherhood alongside 2 roommates proved that Selleck could handle both comedy and drama with ease. He also showcased his range in films like Runaway, where he played a detective with a fear of heights, and Her Alibi and an Innocent Man, where he brought his signature charm to romantic comedies and crime thrillers. Despite his growing success on the big screen, Selleck was selective with his choices. He turned down iconic roles that others might have jumped at. One notable example? He was offered the lead in Baywatch as Mitch Buchanan, but he passed on it. Why? Selleck didn't want to be pigeonholed as just a sex symbol running around in swim trunks. Instead, he sought roles that allowed him to stretch his acting muscles, and he found just that in Quigley Down Under, where he played an American sharpshooter in the Australian outback. Selleck has often said that this role is one of his personal favorites, showing just how much he valued depth in his characters. In the 1990s, Tom Selleck made a surprising move that opened doors to a whole new audience. He joined the cast of Friends as Dr. Richard Burke, Monica Geller's older, charming boyfriend. Their unconventional relationship, Monica being much younger than Richard, captivated viewers, and Selleck's character became a fan favorite, appearing in several episodes. At first, many questioned the decision, including his career advisors. Was it wise for a seasoned actor like Selleck to take on a 6-episode role in a sitcom? But Tom had no second thoughts. His portrayal earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Guest Actor in a comedy series, and Friends became one of the most memorable chapters in his long career. Even as he juggled TV and film roles, Selleck's distinctive deep voice and calm demeanor made him a perfect fit for other projects. In the early 90s, he became the voice of AT&T's You Will ad campaign, which was hugely popular at the time. He also hosted The Practical Guide to the Universe on TLC, a show that explored everything from stars and galaxies to the mysteries of the cosmos. His presence was reassuring and authoritative, making him a natural for these thoughtful, informative roles. Selleck made another significant leap in 1998 when he returned to primetime TV with The Closer, playing Jack McLaren, a high-powered publicist. Despite high expectations and a strong cast, the show lasted just 10 episodes before it was canceled due to disappointing ratings. The early 2000s saw Selleck return to the Western genre, a territory he had always loved. He starred in 2 films, Crossfire Trail and Monty Walsh, both of which rekindled his cowboy persona. In 2001, he even made his way to Broadway, taking on a role in A Thousand Clowns. Though critics compared his performance to that of Jason Robards, Selleck made the role his own. The production ran for 4 months, with stops in Chicago and Boston, before it came to an abrupt end due to the September 11th attacks. Despite its short run, the experience showcased Selleck's range and ability to tackle a completely different type of performance. In 2004, Tom Selleck delivered one of his most praised performances when he took on the role of General Dwight D. Eisenhower in the TV movie Ike: Countdown to D-Day. The film, which focused on the political and military strategy behind the D-Day invasion, saw Selleck's portrayal of the iconic leader earning widespread acclaim. His calm, measured take on Eisenhower was seen as a perfect fit for the historical figure, showing the general's quiet strength and resolve during one of history's most critical moments. From 2005 onward, Selleck stepped into another iconic role: Jesse Stone, a flawed and brooding police chief in a series of TV movies based on the Robert B. Parker novels. Not only did he star in these films, but he also took on the role of producer, further shaping the direction of the franchise. His portrayal of the troubled Stone was a hit with fans, showing yet another side to his versatile acting ability. In 2010, Selleck found another major success with the hit TV series Blue Bloods, where he played NYPD Commissioner Frank Reagan. The show, centered around a family of law enforcement officers, became an instant favorite and helped Selleck solidify his place as a TV legend, earning him a new generation of fans. His portrayal of the tough yet compassionate Frank Reagan resonated with viewers, and the show became a staple in primetime TV. As he enters his 80s, Tom Selleck reflects on a life that's been far from the flashy Hollywood spotlight. For decades, fans have wondered about the man behind the mustache, the Ferrari, and the cowboy hat. But Tom's real story isn't written in tabloids. It's found in the peaceful life he's built with his wife, Jilly Mack, away from the public eye. Their story is one of love, privacy, and simplicity, far from the cameras and the fame. The tale of Tom and Jilly's relationship reads like a movie script itself. It all began in 1983, when Tom was in London filming Lassiter. Drawn to the musical Cats, he attended the show multiple times, puzzling even his co-star Jane Seymour. But Tom's interest wasn't just in the performance. He was captivated by one of the cast members, Jilly Mack, who played the playful Rumpelteazer. Their connection was instant, and after a dinner date, their romance blossomed quickly. When Jilly's contract ended, she moved to the United States to be with Tom, and in 1987, the couple married in a secret ceremony that was so private, even close friends were unaware of the details. Their whirlwind romance had led to a life built on love and privacy, a contrast to the public persona Tom had built over the years. In a quiet chapel near Lake Tahoe, Tom and Jilly took a step that would forever change the course of their lives. They wed in secret, using false names to protect their privacy: Tom Jenkins and Susie Mark. Only a handful of family members were present, and even the minister didn't know their true identities until they walked through the door. For Tom, this was no ordinary Hollywood wedding. At the height of his fame from Magnum PI, he made an unexpected decision. He walked away from the spotlight to focus on something far more important: his family. "My relationships and my ranch keep me sane," he later confessed. The couple settled into a 65-acre ranch in Ventura, California, far removed from the prying eyes of Hollywood. It was a deliberate choice, one that allowed them to raise their family outside the glare of the media. Their daughter, Hannah Margaret Selleck, was born in December 1988, and from the start, it was clear she had a special connection to horses. Growing up on the ranch, surrounded by the tranquility of nature, gave her a unique and grounded upbringing. Tom and Jilly knew they were providing her with the best environment to thrive. As she grew older, Hannah developed a passion for equestrianism, eventually becoming a professional in the field. She competed internationally and founded her own business, Descanso Farm, where she trains elite horses. For Tom, watching his daughter achieve success in her own right has been a source of immense pride. Family is at the heart of Tom's world, and his devotion to them was tested during a difficult time. When Hannah was just a toddler, she was hospitalized with viral pneumonia, and Tom didn't hesitate for a second. He dropped everything to be by her side. At the time, he was scheduled to begin filming Christopher Columbus, The Discovery with Marlon Brando, but no film could take precedence over his daughter's health. He postponed the shoot, and in that moment, he began to question the balance between his career and his family. Looking back, Tom admitted, "It wasn't worth it. I quit Magnum to have a family, and now I was jumping at every movie that came along." It was a turning point that deepened his commitment to his family, reshaping his priorities for good. Tom Selleck's decision to prioritize family over fame was not just about his daughter. It extended deeply into his marriage with Jilly. In an industry where celebrity unions often collapse under the pressure of public attention, their relationship has endured. When asked about the secret to their lasting bond, Tom's answer is straightforward. "I think it's important to nurture your marriage. My first priority is time with my family." Their relationship has faced its share of rumors, especially in the late 80s when their neighbor was the iconic actress Sophia Loren. Gossip about an affair spread, but Tom handled it with wit. He joked that Jilly had given him one condition under which he could be unfaithful: if Sophia, in her bathrobe, invited him for a cappuccino while he was on his way to Home Depot. But, as Tom humorously pointed out, that moment never came. And soon after, Sophia sold her house. Despite the gossip, Tom and Jilly's bond has remained unshaken. Life on the ranch has been Tom's refuge. He's spoken fondly about his time working the land, even managing an avocado farm at one point. "I don't eat them," Tom quips, admitting that the taste of avocados makes him gag. But the work, the physical labor, is what keeps him grounded. He enjoys the simple routines of ranch life, riding his ATV, checking on the horses, and handling the day-to-day chores. It's a far cry from the glitzy Hollywood persona many associate with him, but it's the life he's always craved. A cigar and a glass of whiskey is a nice way to end the day, he says, content with his peaceful existence. On their ranch, Tom and Jilly have built a sanctuary, a place where they raised their daughter, Hannah, away from the fame and scrutiny of Hollywood. Has since become a professional equestrian and founded her own business, Descanso Farm, where she trains top-tier horses. Tom couldn't be prouder, watching her succeed on her terms. Now, even as Tom approaches his 80s, he remains active. He's been playing New York City Police Commissioner Frank Reagan on Blue Bloods since 2010, a role that has cemented his place as a TV legend. But after 14 seasons, as the show winds down, Tom looks forward to spending more time with his family. Reflecting on his life, Tom feels immense gratitude. He's had a career filled with lucky breaks, difficult choices, and love. For years, fans have wondered what has kept him grounded in a world full of chaos and scandal. The answer? His deep ties to Jilly, Hannah, and the ranch they've built together. At 79, Tom knows he made the right decision when he stepped away from Hollywood's frenzy to focus on his family. For a man who has played heartthrobs, cowboys, private detectives, and police commissioners, it's clear his proudest roles are as a husband and father. While his fans know him as the mustached icon from their favorite TV shows, at home, he's simply Tom, a devoted, humble man who is grateful for the life he has created. Now, as he enters this next chapter, Tom is ready to finally reveal the truth that fans have long speculated about. What's the secret behind his lasting career and personal happiness? The answer is simple: his unwavering dedication to the people he loves, and the quiet, fulfilling life he's chosen to lead with them. That's the real story of Tom Selleck, and the one he's now sharing with the world.